All right, so this past weekend here in Halifax was Nocturne, which is the nighttime art festival. Always a really great time, man. Like, first of all, like I remember Nocturne being just sort of this quiet, kind of nerdy, like, you know. You'd see some more activity in the downtown core, but like not as crazy as it was last night. It was the first time that I'd been out for Nocturne in a couple of years. Actually, the last time that I was out for Nocturne, I wasn't actually even out for Nocturne. My buddy Mike Broadfield and I had gone to a hockey game with another guy, and we. We had this running gag all night that everything that we saw that was even a little bit out of place was an art installation. So we're going in to see the Mooseheads play. I think they won that night actually, and we're there and we're getting waved over to a different parking garage, and we're like, Nocturne. There's like a knocked over garbage can. Nocturne. We see the one payphone still in operation in Halifax with the receiver off. Nocturne. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the boss that we had at the time had gone to Nocturne with her significant other, and she was posting a bunch of pictures on Facebook of all the different exhibits and whatever that she went to, and we just commented on them all with just different versions of the word Nocturne, like spelt backwards, spelt forwards, spelt in a diagonal, spelt like in lowercase and uppercase. Like, it was just this whole crazy like shenanigans that we got up to while we were sitting in his apartment after the hockey game. So that was the last time that I went out to Nocturne. I didn't actually go out, but last night was really a lot of fun. It was a bit of rain here in Halifax on the night of, unfortunately, which, you know, turned our particular night, me and the girlfriend and her next oldest sister. We also met up with a friend or two of the girlfriends out in the wild, as it were. Anyhow, the rain put a little damper on the fun, but it was a really good time. We got to see they had what are they called? Incendious Mobius or something like that. They're fire performers anyhow, and they did a really phenomenal show, which might have been the last one of the night, depending on how well the rain held out. We saw a quick dance show as well from Halifax Dance. Of course, we went down to the Nova Scotia Art Gallery here in Halifax. Got to go in on and see some of their displays there. Really, really, I mean, they have a really nice Maud Lewis installation there that I do like. Like Maud Lewis, the thing about Maud Lewis is like I'm not the biggest art guy in the world. Anyhow, I can appreciate art at times, but like, you know, it's not necessarily my jam all the time. Maud Lewis, especially, not exactly my thing. But every once in a while, man, there is just something that I see from her, and it's something different every single time. That I can sit back and actually really appreciate. So, Nocturne was a really fantastic event. If you ever have anything like that you can just easily just sort of walk from one part of your city to another, one part of your town to another, and just take in some culture that way, I really highly recommend it. Even if it's not something that you necessarily think, oh, this is definitely for me. Just going out there and seeing what's going on, going with an open mind to appreciate and enjoy it. It's just a good time, especially if you get together with some pals and just have a good night of it. Make a good night of it. Had to pause my recording there. There was an ambulance directly outside of my window, which it's weird. They don't seem to have taken me away, so that's good. No, it's funny talking about Crown Jewel in the last segment there. If they don't cancel Crown Jewel, I can tell you right now, I won't be watching it anyhow on that particular evening, which is November the 2nd. Trevor Noah is here in Halifax. I'll be going to go see that. I will be sure to have a full report on that show for me. It's the first time that I've seen stand-up comedy in the Metro Center, the Scotiabank Center, the former Metro Center. I'm looking forward to it. However, like I don't know how that venue is going to do. I've always found like comedy done in an arena like that as a weird idea, but like by the same token, I understand like where else are they going to put Trevor Noah? You know what I mean? Like, is he gonna really do like the Cohen, which like I think is like a kind of the largest venue that you kind of want to do comedy in, but like he's Trevor Noah, so he's of course going to have a group of people who will want to see him. By a group, I mean a lot of people who want to see his comedy done. Funny thing about this, like I was looking at the Facebook event, which is how I was originally alerted to the fact, like, oh shit, Trevor Noah's coming to Halifax. I was looking at the Facebook event for it, and I had to just like stop myself. And I don't know if you have this problem, but I have to occasionally just sort of stop myself and just go, it's not worth it getting involved with these people, because you'll see people commenting on social media with just all of the ignorance in the world. They just don't understand how things work, and you just wonder how these poor little lambs go through the world and don't get all of their like you just wonder how they like don't end up spending all of their paychecks supporting Nigerian princes, because you know they get these emails, and it's an opportunity to inherit so many millions of dollars. You know, you just wonder. Because, like, I see a bunch of people just being like, I don't understand how his show is going to translate to stand-up. It's not The Daily Show that's coming to Halifax. It's Trevor Noah just doing stand-up. And, like, if you've ever seen some of his stand-up, if you've never seen Trevor Noah's stand-up, do yourself a favor. Go on to Netflix right now and look at any of his stand-up at all that's on the service right now. Just go ahead and do it, because it's so worth it. It's amazing, because like he talks about how, like, technically speaking, his existence was an affront to the laws of South Africa at the time. Of course, it was due to apartheid, right? He's a half black, half white child in South Africa at the time. He was considered to be quote unquote colored. He had a white father, I believe, black mother, and his mother had to say, "Oh, he's not mine." He has a very interesting, and he's got a unique outlook on the world as a result. And he's a guy who's like not that much older than I am, and he's lived this life that is just absolutely fascinating to me. And he's able to turn it into comedy in such a clever and remarkable way. And I just can't wait. And you know what I bet you can't wait for? The next segment of this show. Okay, I feel bad about that one. I'm not going to lie to you. That was one of my weaker transitions. I'm sorry. But on the other side of this little break, we're going to talk about unique look at dealing with misbehaving fans from a London football club. All right, so as you guys, I'm sure, know by now, I'm a fan of the of Liverpool Football Club. That is my team. Things are still going well for old Liverpool. Of course, this week was an international break. May have been some injuries, which that makes me a bit nervous. But I mean, honestly, if I'm not nervous about something when it comes to Liverpool, I'd be concerned about not having anything to be concerned about. Anyhow, I'm a Liverpool fan, so it does make me. I don't know. Like I'm having a hard time not making a joke about Chelsea not having any history, but Chelsea Football Club, based in London, is going to be sending racist fans of Chelsea Football Club on Auschwitz trips rather than banning them from the club. So Chelsea has in recent years had some problems with racism. I mean, there are problems with racism all throughout football. Unfortunately, it just is a case that there are problems with race, just as there are problems with race in a lot of different places, a lot of different facets of the world. Chelsea, in particular, have had some problems recently. This past year, well, last year, I suppose. At this point, last September, there was some criticism of the fans of the club who had done some anti-Semitic chanting against their rivals in Tottenham Football Club last September. Tottenham is owned by a Jewish man by the name of Daniel Levy, but Chelsea's owner, Roman Abramovich, himself is Jewish himself. He's been at the sort of the forefront of the initiative, which is designed to tackle anti-Semitism amongst the fans of Chelsea Football Club. So they're offering supporters who are caught being racist the chance to attend educational courses at the concentration camp of Auschwitz in Poland, instead of being banned from attending matches at Stamford Bridge. Quote from the Chelsea chairman, Bruce Buck: if you just ban people, they'll never change their behavior. This policy gives them the chance to realize what they've done and to make them want to behave better. In the past, we would have taken them from the crowd and banned them for up to 3 years. Now we say you did something wrong. You have the option. We can ban you, or you can spend some time with our diversity officers understanding what you did wrong. It's hard to act when a group of 50 or 100 people are chanting. That's virtually impossible to deal with. Try to drag them out of the stadium. But if we have individuals that we can identify, we can act. Honestly, I think this is pretty good. There's been some problems with, like I said, there's been some problems recently with Chelsea in terms of racism. Honestly, I think that this is a good move. It allows for change, allows for understanding, allows for more empathy, which honestly is, like, I think one of those things that the world just needs more of at any given time. On the other side of this break, I'm going to be talking really quickly about the impending legalization of marijuana here in Canada and Halifax's bungling of the bylaws surrounding smoking. Surprise, surprise, there's problems. On the other side of this. So I think that I've talked